Welcome to the Sawdust Maker. Before I get started with today's past project, just wanted to make mention about some comments left on my YouTube channel about low volume. I'm hoping to get that straightened out with an experiment today with using an idea I got from Jay Bates. He uses a hands-free connection to his smartphone to record on his phone and then transfer it to his videos. So that's what I'm doing now. We'll see how it works. Okay, for today's project, this is Izzy Swan's scroll saw. This was one challenging project, one I truly enjoyed doing, and it was lots of fun. I'm going to show you a few of the things that I like about it, some of the problems I've had with it, and some of the improvements I made on it. So I'll grab the camera and give you some close-ups. The instructions come in a series of technical drawings. You have the overall view page with the list of all the parts, and then you have each individual part and its dimensions. Now, I went ahead and made me a huge size parts list. Now, you may not be able to see it, but number 5 here, I went to go looking for that when I was studying the plans, and I couldn't find that technical drawing anywhere in here. Then I talked to Izzy Swan, and he told me something I should have realized on my own. It's called a spacer, and it's just a block of wood, 4 3/4 inches by 1 inch. Well, that was simple. But the other problem with that one is it doesn't indicate in here where that is. But I'll be showing you on the saw itself where that's located. One of the things that I did notice using Izzy's plans is that I tried to mark the locations of the screws to where they're going to be joining another part, like down here on the bottom, and they don't always line up according to the sketch dimensions. I first drilled the holes according to the dimensions in the sketch, but then I realized it didn't match up with the part down below. This is only in a couple of places, but just be careful. Go ahead and mark where the dimensions show you, but make sure they match up first before you drill your holes. I only noticed this in a couple of locations, and the next shot will be of one on the back side. Now, on these row of screws here, they lined up pretty well with the center of this one, but this row here of screws didn't quite line up with the middle here. So just check and make sure that you're lined up correctly. Even though none of mine came through the side here, I'd have felt more comfortable if it was right dead center of this board here. I think the biggest problem that I had with this build was the location of all the nuts, the washers, and the bearings that go into this bearing block and for this cam. Once I got all that straightened out and made sure that my drill was in the reverse direction, everything went a lot smoother. I think when you have this drill in forward motion or clockwise, it has a tendency to make these nuts tighten up and squeeze the bearings, causing them to tighten up and start burning. I ended up burning 2 of mine. Another thing is over here on this cam, there's a bolt that goes through it, which connects and goes through here. and the head of the bolt is on the other side of this cam. and it's just kind of buried into the wood. Well, at first I thought that would work, but then ended up making this cam slip. So the second thing I did was to drill a hole right here and go through the bolt, and then I put a finishing nail in there. And I thought, okay, that'll get it. But eventually the nail would slip out from use. So I epoxied the finishing nail into the cam, and plus I put on the back side over here, I put some on the head of the bolt to help stabilize it and hold it in place. Once I got all these little problems fixed, it started working just fine. Okay, this is just a steel rod right here that joins this part here to this saw arm here. Now, right now I've just got it slid in there. It's a good tight fit, but after some use it will start to come out. So I haven't figured out yet how I want to fasten that in better, because I want to be able to take it loose if I need to. Now what you see right here is the top blade holder, and right now I have the right kind of bolt, but I used a nut and a lock washer here instead of threading this piece of metal here to accept this bolt. I'm hoping to find a tap that I can use to thread this metal sometime in the future, which will make it easier to change the blade. Okay, that spacer block is right here. That one I was telling you about earlier, that was number 5. It goes in between these two pieces here. One little adjustment that I had to make, as you can see right here, I had to cut a little notch out of this piece right here to give this arm a little bit more movement coming up and down. That wasn't in the plans, but I don't know if I had gotten the measurement wrong or what. If I ended up having to do that, I don't think it's detrimental to the rest of the saw. Now I want to show you that this base does tilt to almost a 45-degree angle. Just going to loosen this knob and tilt it and retighten it. It's good and sturdy. Now there's some things that I added to the saw for my own personal use, and that's this little block of wood that I put on here on the side. Drilled a hole in to hold the Allen key that I use to change out the blade. Back in the back of the saw, I put another block of wood, cut a rabbet in it so that it could hold my extra blades. My last little addition to the saw was back here where you tighten the tensioning down with. Instead of having a nut here, I've made me a wooden knob and put a T-nut in here. And all I have to do is just hold on to this and loosen it or tighten it. Well, this wraps up the Izzy Swan scroll saw review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, would you please hit the like button? And if you haven't, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Well, that's all until the next video. See you later.